Hi everyone, my name's Natasha. This is my second video. If you've never been here before, please like, subscribe and comment, and stay tuned for another disastrous start to filming. And without further ado, let's get into the video. This is my second video and it's been, again, eventful. And just to say that this plant by the side of me, not what I meant when I said I would make it more aesthetically pleasing to watch my videos or my attempt to film. No, actually, I did film for 50 minutes and I edited all night last night. I stayed up until 5:30 and iCloud deleted my video. When I went to open it in iMovie, I couldn't play it or edit it, and I went through all of the YouTube videos on how to try and retrieve it, like started my phone again, switched off iCloud, so yeah, it's gone. So 50 minutes of filming and up until 5:30 editing, gone. Just editing for the second time and realised I didn't really make much sense there. What I meant to say was that I'd already edited the video, but when I tried to go back into iMovie to edit it some more, or to even do anything with it, that it just wouldn't open, and it said that I deleted files or something. But I'm trying to see the positive side here. I'm trying to see it, like, so the video quality was horrendous. So maybe this is giving me another chance to film a better video. I have to believe that, because otherwise I'll go insane. I genuinely had tears trying to retrieve this edited video. I spent so long on it, but here I am, I'm filming it again with better lighting and a plant next to me, just because I think it looks better than the actual background. I will get there, I will. So that was a little story time before my actual guy story time. And I said in the last video that I would be doing makeup whilst filming. So that's what I'm going to do. So my mirror's here. So if I'm looking here a lot, that's because I need to see what I'm doing and I'm short-sighted, so I can't use like the camera to help me. So my face is probably going to be like in the mirror like the whole video. But just please try and bear with. When I rang the police in the last video and I said this is a sign of what's to come, it was. So I'm going to start with my eyebrows. I don't like to do my eyebrows when all my face is done, just because my skin is really oily, and if I do my foundation and stuff first, even when I set it, if I try and do my eyebrows over the top, like they move around and stuff. So I'm going to take an angled brush. I don't even know which make this is. It's just a bog standard eyebrow angled brush. So just the face I pull when I make a mistake, which is constantly. So I usually use the NYX eyebrow pomade, but I find like I love NYX. I'm going to be using quite a few products of theirs today actually. The pomade is amazing for the first like week or two, and then it just dries and it's really hard to work with. So I've just resorted to using Revolution Strong Soul Contour, the contour shade, the lightest one, to fill in my brows until I find a really good product for my eyebrow. My eyebrows are overgrown and need doing, haven't been able to get them done, so just ignore that. So instead of looking in the mirror here, I am going to have to hold it up because I am almost blind. That's how short-sighted I am. So I'm just going to start filling in my brow. I do it roughly first because I know that I'm going to be carving them out and tidying them up. So I feel like that just gives me, I don't draw them all over my face, but I just know that I'm going to be able to tidy it up. Let me get into my first guy story. So I think I'm going to tell two. The first one hurts me just a little bit, but like it doesn't hurt me, but it was a lot. like it got deep, and then yeah, so let me just start telling it. So everyone is aware, obviously, that we are in a global pandemic, and we've been in and out of lockdowns, and you know, up and down, like don't know where we're coming or going. I hope everyone's okay, by the way, and dealing okay with that, because it's been crazy and really hard to handle. Like, yeah, I can't believe that it's happened. So if anyone needs a chat about that, or you know, is feeling down, like I'm here always, because it's definitely been difficult. So I'm just taking the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in shade 20 just to carve out my brow, and then I'll be using that on my whole lid as well, just to prime the lids. So I'm just going to carve out the brow now. I'm trying to hold the mirror. Yeah, I'm trying to hold the mirror so I'm not like completely covering my face and revealing the mess behind you. I've just trailed off completely, and I started telling the guy sorry, and I've just gone off on a tangent. This is what I spent majority of last night editing out, was me just like going off on one and just talking crap. So let me get back to it. Like, I didn't realise how hard it is to multitask, and I'm a woman, so I should be good at that. But clearly not. It's really hard to like do your makeup on camera, talk about what you're doing with that, and talk about talk about guy stories, which I do all the time with the girls. Like, they don't hear the end of it. Some of them have had a gut spot of me just chatting about tragic guy stories. They're like, why does this always happen to you? I don't know why it happens to me. I'm a very good person, so I don't understand. But I'm like a magnet. I have like a gravitational pull to these guys. Or is it just guys in general these days? Anyway, get to it, Natasha. Yeah, me and this guy were speaking, yeah, throughout like majority of lockdown. And this was pretty recent actually, like it was last month. So it initially started because he confided in me, and like what happened was we'd matched on Tinder, which I'm ashamed to say I was on. I'm not on it anymore. But if you're constantly meeting weirdos, that is like the weirdo magnet. So that's why I kept attracting weirdos. But we matched on there anyway, and we were really like-minded, I thought. He reached out because he was going through some stuff. Like, he had said that he liked me, but he was like going through mental health issues and stuff like that. So for me, really, like, I was there for him in terms of friendship. Like, I wanted to be more of a friend to him because of what he had told me he was going through. Like, being someone that understands that, I just thought that it would be more beneficial to him to have a friend, because he had said that he lived in Cardiff, he was from London, and he had nobody. Like, his family lived in London, his friends were in London, he'd lost a few friends. Like, it was a bad situation. So instead of referring to him as him all the time, I'm going to give him a name. Frank said that he was extremely alone and isolated in Cardiff. Guys, I'm taking a very, very dirty, rusty, dusty, crusty beauty blender that I didn't wash because, like I said, I had a disaster last night. I don't advise this. You shouldn't put dirty makeup shiz on your face. Just editing and realised that I was completely distracted by the cat meowing her head off. And guys, like, when I've been editing, I've had to edit out about 10 billion loud breath intakes. Literally all you can hear when I'm talking is, it's not attractive. Because it can cause like spots and stuff, but I really just don't care at this point. Like, I was up till 5:30, it is what it is, we move. So yeah, so Frank was alone and I didn't have his address or anything, but I worried about him because he would just drop off the grid completely. First time he did it to me, we weren't speaking like majorly. I'm just taking the Coty airspun, I think I said that right, to set my eyelids. Really affordable, off Amazon. I watched a makeup tutorial like a few years ago. Oh, I think it was Michael Finch who used it, and I love him, by the way, love him. But ever since I've just used it because I've purchased the more expensive ones and I feel like they do like the same, like the translucent powders do the same for me. The only thing I will say is flashback. Like, I don't find this one gives me flashback. It does for some people, but it doesn't for me, so that's good. But like, I've used more expensive ones and they've given me flashback. Oh my god, Natasha, get to it. So anyway, he dropped off the grid the first time, and like I said, we weren't like speaking fully then, so that was okay. Like, it wasn't okay, I still worried because he'd briefly touched upon what he was going through, but we hadn't built up as much, I don't want to say rapport, but we hadn't built up as much of a connection, that's the word, but at that point. So I noticed his absence, but it wasn't enough for me to like try and get hold of him and ask him where he was. So then he came back to Snapchat and I had put like a random story up and he had replied to it. So then I asked him, like, where did you go? And then that's when he really started to open up. He said he had good vibes from me, like he could trust me. So we went through all of this and then he wanted to meet. So me and Frank got to the point where we had opened up, so like I don't open up. I want to put out there as well, I don't date guys romantically anymore. Like, the thought of it turns me sick. I know it's not all men that are complete pigs, but the ones that I attract are. So I'm just taking a step back from the pig scene. I'm just taking the Picante Karity palette, which is stunning, but I got this from Instagram, but it's just so pretty. Like, my favourite shades in one palette, and they are so buttery and easy to work with and blendable and all of that. So I'm going to be taking a lighter shade in the palette called Delia, and I'm just going to run that through my crease as a transition. So yeah, we had gone into this like deeper conversation space. I don't let everything spill out, but I definitely did share things that I'm not like too happy with, because I now, knowing what I know, I shouldn't have shared. But you're in that space and I feel like lockdown is so isolating. Even though I was like speaking to my friends and stuff, it was just nice to have someone like to speak to on that level. And like I can honestly say I haven't spoken to anybody like that before. I've been in like a 4-year relationship. I lived with a guy, but never spoken in that depth before, and never felt like somebody understood me quite as much. So it was all good, and then he dropped off again. He fell off the grid again. Somebody just phoned me and ruined my filming, so thanks for that. Like, my phone just stopped recording. This second one is not going to be a disaster like the first. I am determined to make it work. So let me pick up from where I left off. He fell off the grid again, and this time, like, obviously we had gone deeper and like spoken about so many different things, and I write poetry and stuff like on the DL, and he had asked me to send him some stuff, and I'm very like, I don't even show my best friends it. Like, I'm very close off about it, but I did. I don't know why. And I just want to add in there that I'm not the type to like fall for anyone. And I hadn't even met this guy. So I was just like really confused as to what was going on in my head at that point. Just really confused as to what was going through my head at that point. But again, like, he just had a way. So I sent him all of that. So I noticed his absence that time. I was like, hey, like, where have you gone? I sent him a Snapchat, and he deleted Snapchat. Not deleted, deactivated. So he wouldn't have got the message. But I just shot him a message and was like, I hope you're okay. Because I was genuinely worried about him. Like, he was on his own. He told me this stuff. Like, yeah, like, generalized anxiety. He was, like, depressed. He'd lost friends. Like, Frank was in a bad place. So I was just really worried about him. I'm just taking the shade Flamenco, which is like a really pretty orange shade. And I'm going to just put that just below the transition shade and start to build it up. But he had told me all these things about himself. And he just expected me to like not like react when he would just go, which was crazy to me. So I left him a message and was like, I'm thinking of you, like, no pressure, I'm here if you need anything at all, like, I'll drive to Cardiff. Like, because obviously we were in lockdown, but people's safety is far more important, I think, than, you know, than a lockdown. Like, you'd rather someone be alive than say, oh, sorry, like, the rules won't let me come and see you, but if you're on the edge, like, that's cool, like, you'll have to deal with it yourself. Hell no, absolutely not. So I just said that in the message, and then 3 days later I had a message back saying like, sorry, I dipped out. When I do my eyeshadow, I drag it out and then I'll cut it with concealer later, but I just like to elongate my eye because I have hooded eyelids, so I take the eyeshadow really high up as well, just so you can see it. But yeah, he came back and said, sorry, like, I was going through something. He said his coping mechanism was to just hide away. And as much as I get it, like, I definitely think there's danger in isolating yourself from people who want to help. I think you do need downtime and you do need, you know, time to figure out your own thoughts and stuff. And I've definitely been there. But isolating yourself can also make the situation worse. And he said it did. So he said, and he also said that he didn't realise that I cared so much. Which was crazy to me because I was like fully like in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was fully trying to be there for him. We were talking till early hours, so I didn't understand that comment. But I'm guessing the anxiety and like what he was going through made him believe otherwise. So yeah, so it went on, we were talking fine again, and then it got to the point where him leaving Snapchat constantly and him just dipping out really messed with my emotions and my state, which I never ever let guys do anymore. But it just did. Like, there's no shame in admitting that I was in a bad spot, and every time he disappeared I would feel it, because and so many girls will relate to this, I only tend to get guys speaking to me who want to objectify women, who want to see certain body parts. So to have like a deep, meaningful conversation with someone was so like brand new to me. And it really should be the other way around. Like, it should be shocking to receive, like, you know, unsolicited pics and just guys just blatantly in broad daylight asking you to get your bum out or, you know, your kitty out. But it's not. It's more shocking when a guy speaks to you on a deep level. And he had told me that I was too deep to be taken at surface level. He told me all these things and I was like, I had, don't trust words, Natasha. Like, you know better than that. But I did. I fell. Not fell in love, but I was building up in my head what I thought it was, and it wasn't my cat in the background. I'm so sorry. She's like the noisiest cat. She's a talking cat. She doesn't stop. But yeah, I allowed myself to get invested. So third time he dipped out was really like, and he didn't tell me after saying he would tell me. And again, like, if he's going through all that stuff, I do not expect him to be thinking of me and like, oh my god, I gotta let Natasha know, because we're not together, and I made that clear. But my point is, I'm worried and I don't know where you live, and like, if I hear that something's happened, then oh my god, like, I wouldn't live with myself. That was my point. So you tell me why I got to the point where it was getting to me so much. I deleted my own Snapchat, my own social media, because I couldn't delete him. And I just didn't want to be on there, like, looking, see when he was back, do you know what I mean? So Frank went again, so I went. But I put up a Snapchat saying, taking a break, whatever. He asked for my number. So he came back on Snapchat. Frank came back on Snapchat at that point and asked for my number. He asked for my number, which he didn't need to do. So we were messaging, and then just dipped out again, just fell off the grid again in the middle of a normal standard conversation. And then I went back on Snapchat and I unheard from him in 2 days, and he had uploaded a story on Snapchat of his brand new coat. So there's me worried, thinking he's done something stupid and he's modelling a brand new coat. And then 2 seconds after that, after I viewed his story, he blocked me. And that was it. Like, he blocked me and that was it. So yeah, I haven't heard anything since. I do know that he's unblocked me since, which I do not understand why I go through the trouble of that, but he hasn't tried, like, reaching out or anything. I have no explanation why Frank did that. And Frank just vanished, just blocked me. And I'm very much, like, transparent. If you don't want to bother, I'm not going to crumble and die. Like, I'll be good. I've survived far more. So just tell me, just be a man and be like, I'm not interested. And I wasn't even putting pressure on him. I told him I was his friend. So that was bizarre. Anyway, moving on. I don't tend to put foundation on anymore unless I'm going on a night out, which is never, because we can't, because of the current climate. Anyway, if I do go out, I use the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation, because my skin, as I mentioned earlier, is like super oily. Not spot prone, but like definitely super oily. So the Urban Decay All Nighter will last me all night. I can wake up in the morning and still have a full face of makeup. It's amazing. And the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer is amazing. Like, it's like a foundation because it is so full coverage and so thick, but it's fast drying. So what I do is I apply it just like in certain areas, and I don't put it under my eyes because I use Maybelline Fit Me concealer. I look stunning right now. Yeah, I use the Maybelline Fit Me concealer for under the eyes, because even though that's full coverage, it's thinner than this, and I'm aging now, you know? Like, I need to watch out for the wrinkles under the eyes. My bags are like getting so bad. So yeah, that's the end of Frank. That's the end of my lockdown love story. I clearly have time to tell another one, so I'm just apologising in advance for that. If I keep looking over here, I did mention in the other video it's going to be really hard to stay focused here, but it's because I can see myself and see also what the foundation looks like. So yesterday it looked super yellow on camera, but I'm feeling like the lighting's better. It still looks yellow, but it's not that yellow in person. And I false tan, so it like matches my tan. But if you see, like, this goes such a long way. Like, such a long way. I'm gonna tell you a guy's story now that is hilarious. Like, I think it is hilarious. Like, these guys be crazy. Like, these guys call women crazy, and never trust a guy when he says like a girl he's bothered with is crazy, because they're always guilty of making us crazy. Always. Like, we don't start off crazy. They drive us crazy. But anyway, there was this guy. I never met up with him. and he was just somebody that, like, a random ad on Instagram. No, sorry, I had TikTok. I don't have it anymore, but I had TikTok. Well, I don't have it anymore because the fans just got too much to handle. Drink, take a shot if you're lying, Natasha. No, but I deleted it because it was just like, I'm all about positivity, and it was becoming like a really ugly place. Like, you know, like more social media platforms, people are just vile to each other, and I don't like that. Like, I'm all about being nice. Like, I don't like it. I get fragile, I get upset. Even if it's not happening to me, but I just don't like it. Anyway, this guy had added me on Instagram from TikTok. Cool. No problem with that. Extra follower, extra like. But I accepted him, and he just started chatting, and he did like really cool photography. I'm gonna call this one Harry. He did really cool photography. So I was like talking to him and just like, oh my god, like your pictures are amazing. And like, obviously I had my makeup thing going on, and I got some poems on it. Like I said earlier, I don't really share them with anyone, but those are the deep ones, you know, the ones that like basically tell my story. If they're just normal poems, like about the river or like, you know, the weather, stuff like that, I'll share them. So we were just chatting back and forth, and he seemed really cool. He said, oh, when this is all over, do you want to go for a coffee? And I thought that was quite sweet, because I think we're in a generation now where you don't meet people, like, it's not incidentally, but it was just nice to be speaking to someone not on a dating website. And at that point, I was still quite open. It was at the point I was like dating multiple men. Please, if you've never done that, it is so much fun. As long as you're good at like and not getting invested, like it's just so much fun. I don't sleep with all of them, because like if you do, then that's your prerogative, and I'm not even like putting you down, as long as you're safe. For me, like, I just get so worried about catching something, even if I am being safe. Like, I just get so paranoid. Like, I've got an OCD problem with it. When we were able to, I was like getting checked, even when I wasn't active, like sexually active, I was getting checked, just in case like an STD had like manifested itself. Yeah, so I'm one of them that's paranoid, so that's why I don't tend to sleep around. I know the girls are going to watch this and laugh their heads off at that comment. But I'm telling the truth, like, I'll sleep with all of them. So yeah, it was nice to like not meet someone on a dating website, and just to like, I like people who are creative, because I feel like I'm creative, so it's just nice to speak to someone like that. And he was good at conversation, you know. So anyway, it was at the point that I was like, I say dating, but it was like on and off when we were in and out of lockdown. So I was like speaking to guys, and then when we could, we would meet up. When we couldn't, we wouldn't, you know, stuff like that. But it was at the point that I think we were allowed to meet up with people. It was like before it got all crazy, and before Boris did his amazing speech of, you can go out, but don't go out. If you go out, don't go out. If you want to ride your bike, don't ride your bike out of your street, but you avoid catching public transport and, you know, use your bike. Yeah, it was that at that point. No, it was before that. It was before that point. So he had asked me to go for a coffee on the Saturday, and I'd said yes. And I had agreed to meet somebody else in the same Saturday, but he didn't know I was going to meet the other one after him. I'm not giving the best impression here, but I was living my best life. Like, let me live. So it came to the point where I wanted to go and see my grandparents instead. Like, if we were allowed to go somewhere, I'd miss them, so I wanted to go and see them instead. So I cancelled on 2 of them with plenty of notice, and just said, oh look, I'm going to be seeing family instead. This guy started getting crazy, like, as if like we were in a relationship, and he was like, lol, okay, did he say? I deleted it, so I can't even look at it. Lol, okay, like, I know where your priorities are. So I was like, are you okay? Like, do you need some assistance? Do you need like medical assistance? Do you need help? Do you want me to call you like a counsellor? I was like, yeah, you're right. My priorities nearly enough with my family. Like, who would be so crazy to have their priorities with their family? So anyway, like we had a bit of a back and forth, and I just said to him like, I'm chill, but you're making me like mad. Like, nobody questions me when I'm gonna go and see family. That's my, like, it's like, I shouldn't even have to explain myself. Like, that's crazy. So that was it for me then. Like you do one wrong thing with me and that's it. Like, I don't take no shit. So wow, that was really annoying. But I don't. Like, you mess up once with me and I'm done, and that's because of a past experience. Like, I just will not be that girl again, you know? Like, I've always been strong-willed, but I definitely, like, I might talk about the past relationship in the next video. Yeah, so he had gone nuts, and then he just started like talking to me normal the next day. Like nothing had happened. So I sent him question marks and he was like, what? Like, what name did I give him? Henry. Was it Henry? Henry fully denied any involvement in this dispute we had the day before. And then I said like, yesterday, and he was like, lol, forgive and forget. I think not. And the only reason I unblocked him was because like it wasn't that deep. Like I don't feel any feelings for him. Like, you know, it wasn't that deep. So like he didn't trigger anything. It was quite funny actually. These guys entertain me with their craziness. So anyway, he was just talking to me like nothing had happened. So yeah, so he was talking to me like nothing had happened. I'm very aware that my face is looking like Casper right now, so I'm going to just use a bog standard bronzer to bronze it up. I don't know what it is. I can't remember what bronzer it is. It's just like, yeah, it's just a drugstore one. But it's like a nice warm colour, just to bring some colour back to my face because I look like Casper. And obviously, like, the powder I've just used does settle into the skin after some time. So it's not going to look this crazy the whole time. Anyway, yeah, he fully just wasn't aware of like how mental he had acted. So I usually use the NYX professional makeup contour, but I've gone through, I need a new one. I've gone through all of this shade, so I'm going to use the same palette that I'm pretty sure I stole off my friend. The one I use to do my brows, and I'm just going to start contouring and carving out my cheeks and stuff like that. I shouldn't blow. I don't know why I'm blowing. I never blow, I tap. But that's so noisy. And I'm just going to put that under the cheekbone just to carve it out. Because I've got a pudding face. I did used to have a really chiseled like jawline, but I like pizza too much. So I told him like I didn't want to speak anymore, and that he just needed to like understand certain things before speaking to another girl and acting that crazy. Which he didn't take very well, as you can imagine. So he blocked me and he said, go and speak to the 5,000 other guys that you've been speaking to while speaking to me. So I just said, okay. And then he blocked me. And then, when was it? The day before yesterday, I get a follow request on Instagram. And guess who it is? It's him. I'm just taking LA Girl Blush. I used to have such good products, but I don't know why. Like, I'm going to ask for loads for Christmas, I think. I do like this blush. Like, I'm calling out these products, but I like them. I like the way they work on my face. But yeah, I had a friend request off him. It was him. And I just sent him question marks again, and he was like, what? Like, it's been 3 months, and I fully was like, again, like, what? As if nothing had happened. So I was like, are you serious? I sent him a screenshot of the conversation before, and he was like, again, lol, forgive and forget. And he said, the good old days. And I was like, mate, this isn't like fond memorabilia. Like, I'm not like feeling nostalgic thinking of our past experience. You're unhinged. And you had a problem with me seeing my family and with me talking to guys when I was single and we hadn't even met. Like, what do you mean? So now he's blocked just because he's like come back around like a boomerang. You know, these guys will always come back. Like, they're on like a what's it called, a conveyor belt. Like, it just goes round and round. Like, I'm telling you, every single guy I've ever been with, bothered with, whatever, has come back. Like, without fail. I don't know why. Like, do they run out of options because they've like been with that many girls and like acted so crazy with so many girls? Like, they come back to you thinking you've like gone asleep and forgotten about what they've done. This guy's crazy. Also, I just want to add that I'm not going to be using lashes because I have no lashes left because I keep wearing them. And I went through a stage of having cluster lashes like on the constant, and they just ruin my eyelashes. If anyone's got any tips on how to help my eyelashes grow, please let me know, because there's none there. I'm going to attempt to put mascara on. I don't think it's going to do very much, but you know, we move. Put a pound in a jar every time I say that. Or take a shot. Take a shot. A shot's better. Let's get festive with it. Oh, my brother's home for Christmas soon. Just so exciting. And I think we're going to do a video of Never Have I Ever and take shots. He lives up in Bristol for uni, and we haven't seen him in nearly a year because of this coronavirus stuff. But yeah, I've nearly finished. And in my last video, I didn't finish the guy's stories and I was still doing my makeup. So I think this is better. I hope it is. I'm just going to apply, like, I don't bother with mascara. I'm always wearing like lashes. So I haven't bought a new mascara in ages. So I've just got like the Rimmel Extreme Black Wonderful. It's crappy. Well, no, let me take that back. It's not crappy. My eyelashes are crappy. So don't expect much from this mascara just because of my eyelashes. Like, I've literally got like clumps of eyelashes missing. It's like extremely upsetting. So I'm gonna do my mascara. I'm probably going to just fast forward this part. So I'm back. It's not the mascara's fault. It is fully my fault for ripping all of my eyelashes out. I don't do the bottoms because my eyes are quite almond shaped. Like, my eyes are quite, yeah. So when I do that, it makes them look smaller. But I am going to take a brush, just like, I'm going to take an angled brush actually, and just dust some bronze under my eyes just to like line, like not line them, but you know, darken up and add something, a little something. My lips have been super dry because it is winter, so I've just got Carmex on them. I was just going to leave this on, but I might actually do a lip colour, you know. And then I'm going to wrap up this video because I have talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. And it's probably 10 hours long. So glad that I've refilmed it from the other one. I'm so sad. So I'm just going to take matte lipstick from Primark. It's a brownie nude. And I normally line my lips, but I think my favourite lip liner has been discontinued. So I'm just going to use this I'll pay no attention if you can see this crusty, dusty, minging scab. I had a cold, so because I've got that Carmex on, I don't think this is going to dry matte. But it's not what I need right now. I don't need matte lipstick on right now because my lips are super dry. So this is the finished look. Nothing major. I'm not going anywhere. So I've just done like a standard makeup look, like everyday makeup look. I can't believe that the last video deleted. I'm still really hurt. It's gonna take a while for me to get over. But yeah, if you've watched this, if you've liked, subscribed, you know, commented, all that good stuff, thank you so much. Come and join my squad, and I'll see you in my next video, hopefully. Bye guys.